Greetings to all of my fellow watch enthusiasts on YouTube and Facebook and wherever else this video will be seen and shared. Celine Driver once again, bringing you another unboxing and review of a Zelos, my favorite brand, but not mine. No, this watch will not be joining my Zelos collection. This watch belongs to my father. He decided after viewing Elshin's website and reading various things about this watch that he wanted one of his own, so I went ahead and ordered it for him, and it just arrived. In fact, it still has some packaging crap on it. And, it's one of the new Spearfish, one of the latest, offering from Zelos in the new aluminum box, which I think is fantastic looking, even with the little pieces of paper. Sticks in it for protection. And inside, we have, of course, we have the standard Zelos card, which has been taped into the case. You can see that this is Zelos number 33, purchased in March of 2022. And down here in one of the compartments is the watch. And I'm going to leave it cocooned for the time being because, as I said, this isn't my watch. This belongs to my father, and heck, I haven't even set the watch yet. So you're seeing it for the first time as I'm seeing it. The beautiful Zelos Spearfish in the antique green. Lovely, lovely watch. Zelos does a very good green, I think. And now, for those of you who don't know, the Spearfish is I guess you could say, an offshoot of the famous and much loved and much produced Swordfish lineup. The case is a little thinner, a little bit more refined than the Swordfish, and it uses a much different movement than the Swordfish. Now, the Swordfish were, and depending on the generation you're looking at, they were either offered with the first generation had a choice of either an ETA movement or the Seiko NH35 movement. Later generations were pretty much all Seiko. Not the Spearfish. The Spearfish is the first use that we know of. I'm pretty sure it's the first use of the Lejeune Perot. My French is horrible. G100 movement. Now, Lejeune Perot is Swiss. They've been used previously in Zelos in the Mirage 8-day or the Mirage 2, depending on who you talk to. The manual wind luxury watch that recently was produced by Zelos with a Lejeune Perot manual wind 8-day power reserve watch. I believe this is obviously an automatic. And you can see there it has a exhibition case back, Geneva stripes, little Geneva stripe work on the rotor, and this automatic has a 60 plus hour power reserve, which is pretty good. You have a date window at the 6 o'clock, very subtle, and the green has a dive style bezel on it. You can see I have to fight the wrapping a little bit, but it does have a very vocal, very nice and lines up beautifully and does not have slop bezel action. I believe yes, it is 120 click. Now, as I said, this watch has the dive style bezel. There are other colorways in the Spearfish lineup. 3 of them have dive bezels. 3 of them have 12-hour bezels. So you can use it as a rudimentary, well, maybe not a GMT per se, but use it as with the ability to track a second time zone with the 12-hour bezel, which is really nice. Signed crown. You have a stainless steel case and matching stainless steel bracelet, which, as I said, I'm keeping wrapped. We're using the current generation spring-loaded Zelos clasp, fully milled stainless steel. The way that works is, I don't know if I can demonstrate it properly with the wrapping on it, but it is a micro adjust, and it is right now pushed all the way in. You can see it's right up against the spring-loaded adjuster. If you pull this lever back, it releases the spring and allows you to pull the bracelet outward, and then you can click it a couple, 3 times, and it gives you roughly the equivalent of this whole link in terms of micro adjustment. And you can see that's about worth 2 removable links on the bracelet. I'm going to deploy it fully. You can see the bracelet, the removable links are very small. They are secured by screws. And obviously this watch is going to be way too big for me right now, but I'm going to give you a wrist shot. I'll just hold it closed, or hold it on my wrist, so you can see on my 7 1/4 inch wrist, the watch, as usual, fits beautifully across the top of my wrist. Very, very wearable. This is not a big watch. This is the case diameter of the watch. The lug-to-lug measurement means that this watch is very wearable for wrists down to maybe, I'd say, easily 6.5 inches, maybe even 6 1/4 inches. Probably even get away with a 6-inch wrist, although I think that's probably pushing it a little bit. But this is a good male or female watch because of the size of the case and the lug-to-lug width, which is very wearable. You have a flat crystal, so it's not terribly thick. I think this is only about, if memory serves me correctly, I think the thickness measurement is about 12 millimeter, maybe even a shade under that. So it's not a very thick watch. Not going to fit under a dress cuff, obviously, but definitely will fit under a long sleeve or a jacket or something like that very easily. Of course, it's a dive watch. It's a sports watch. It's meant to do that. It's a very well constructed, well laid out bracelet. It's going to be very breathable. You can see there's good breathing through the bracelet, even with the wrapping on. And very small removable links, so this thing is going to be very easy to dial into the size real easy. It is a screw down crown, and this is what it looks like fully screwed down. Has crown guards, of course. You unscrew it, it disengages very easily, audible pop that you can feel through your fingers. First click allows you to adjust the date. Second click hacks the movement and allows you to adjust the time. I'll just put it at the classic 10 and 2 there for very little adornment on the dial. Just a Spearfish and a little red thing there that my poor eyes cannot read, the Zelos logo at the 12 o'clock. Screw the crown down, you're back to full water resistance. Applied indices, you have a nice sunburst effect on the green dial. Lume on the bezel, of course. This is, after all, a Zelos dive watch. So let's go into the sheet of facts here so I can get you up to speed on all the particulars of the watch and thus of the, in general, of the Spearfish lineup, which is proving to be very successful for Elshin. This is the antique green Zelos Spearfish. This is now the latest version of the Spearfish to sell out. I think there are still other colorways available, but as of early March 2022, they have sold this colorway out. It is a 40 millimeter diameter case, 47 on the tip to tip, with a 20 millimeter lug width. Sapphire crystals front and back. And as I said, this is the first use commercially of the Lejeune G100 Swiss movement, automatic movement, hand winds, hacks, with a date complication and a 60-hour plus power reserve. It is a 200-meter water-resistant watch, so it is a diveable watch. Obviously, if it's diveable, it's swimmable as well. Just make sure the crown is fully screwed in. You have a ceramic bezel insert on a steel bezel with good edge, which is good and grippy. 120 click bezel, 316L case, 316L bracelet, 316L clasp, and screw removable links. Everything as it should be. You also, I think I saw that. Yes, I did see that. Quick release spring bars on the bracelet. So changing the bracelet for something else will be relatively easy to do. Again, another good feature that Zelos incorporates into their newer watches. I like this watch. I think this is fantastic. I'm very excited to size this up for my father and have him start wearing it. We have been anticipating the arrival of this watch for many days now. Unfortunately, due to FedEx's gross inefficiency, we had to wait several days longer than it should have taken, and they kept making promises for delivery, using an old American saying, their mouths were writing checks their asses couldn't cash. So they kept screwing it up. But it did finally show up. So happy days. Great watch. Can't wait to hand it off to my father and see him enjoy wearing it. So again, not my watch, my father's. He's going to have a good time with it. He loves green watches. He really does. If you are even thinking about getting a Spearfish, no matter what colorway it is, if they're still available on the Zelos website, I would highly recommend buying one before they sell out. If you miss them on the website, I strongly recommend joining Zelos Timekeepers on Facebook, an excellent resource for all things Zelos, buying, selling, trading, and just general information about release dates and all kinds of things like that. So a great place to hang out with fellow Zelosians like myself. We'll see you there. Meanwhile, if you liked this video, you thought it was useful, entertaining, informative, I certainly hope you did. I appreciate it if you click that thumbs up button for me. That does help with channel growth with respect to the YouTube algorithms, so all thumbs ups are appreciated. Comments, questions, and suggestions down below are also appreciated. I do read them all. I do respond to them all. However, if you're going to troll me or you're going to leave links to bad places on the internet, I'm simply going to delete the comment and I'm going to block the commenter. If you're new to the site, or new to the channel, I should say, I do bid you welcome. I'm glad you found the channel. What took you so long? Please feel free to look around and look at as many videos as you'd like. I encourage that completely. All I ask in return is before you leave, please click the subscribe button. And don't forget when you do that, click the bell icon so that when I upload new material, you'll be alerted. And when I do live streams, which I do every Wednesday afternoon from 3 p.m. onward, you will be alerted to those streams and you can come over and join the fun. Or when I do other live streams during the week, when I can, you'll be alerted when those start too. Meanwhile, as I always say at the end of my videos, it is a crazy old world out there. It is not getting any less crazy, folks. Trust me. So I ask all my viewers, subscribers, and non-subscribers alike, please be safe, be careful out there, stay well. I'll see you soon.